How can we innovate with purpose?
How can I make food free of toxins?
How do I make quality education accessible?
How do we convert waste into value?
How do I enable rural farmers to earn a decent living?
How do I make healthcare accessible to everyone?
I think we have really many difficult challenges that we are all facing. So what can you do about that using technology and changing our behaviors?
The XTC was designed to help highlight companies solving for the world's toughest challenges. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals gave us a fantastic framework. It's really a community. It incorporates big companies, universities, venture capitalists to help these companies get to where they need to go a little bit faster.
XTC is important because it is a way of organizing a vast number of great ideas and great entrepreneurs that can support each other and learn from each other and mentor.
Startups are very important to support innovation that is source of growth.
Startups can be very fast, very free in thinking, that is very inspiring for the big companies, and therefore they bring a very nice facet to the entire game.
By making a positive impact, you can also contribute to better business. And technology can be a contributor to enabling this type of exchange.
The breakdown for XTC this year is phenomenal. We had more than 2,400 startups apply from 6 continents, more than 80 countries. They've been down selected to 52 finalists and 7 winners across 7 categories, plus a COVID award and a female founder award. And we want to give you as a startup the ability to be seen, be heard, and to build relationships that could carry you far into the future.
We're really excited because the boot camp and everything, there's so many great speakers. We really appreciate the access to those resources.
I thought I learned everything already through this many years entrepreneurship, but it's just revolutionary knowledge for me.
Profitability is what drives sustainability and innovation. So XTC seemed to really recognize that.
XTC featured the UN Sustainability Goals. That's something that we care a lot about and really wanted to be in alignment with.
It's always exciting to be participating in an event with a group of founders that are similarly focused really on global good.
They're solving non-trivial problems, and that gives me the energy to get up in the morning and go do what I have to do.
Startups are everywhere, across national boundary, across racial boundary. It's everywhere that we can encourage, and we want them to all join us.
How can I improve the world?
It will take innovation,
Holistic thinking,
hard work,
Entrepreneurship,
diversity,
Empathy,
Collaboration,
Persistence,
Focus,
passion,
action.
Let's hope for a greater world by working together as one.
Welcome to the Extreme Tech Challenge 2020 Global Finals. I'm Barrett Parkman, the Acting Managing Director of XTC. Thank you for joining us. Today we are super excited to showcase 8 amazing startups to you. They're led by ambitious founders who saw big challenges in the world and decided to do something about them. To get here, they advanced through multiple pitches and rigorous reviews by the 80-person XTC Evaluation Committee. From over 2,400 applicants, the Evaluation Committee selected winners from 7 categories, including agriculture, food and water, fintech, health, education, enabling technologies, smart cities and transportation, and finally, cleantech and energy. They also selected winners for the special awards, the Female Founder Award and the COVID-19 Innovation Award. Today, each startup will pitch to a panel of world-leading investors and corporate leaders, including Young Sun, President and Chief Strategy Officer for Samsung Electronics and Chairman of Harman. Young co-founded the Extreme Tech Challenge with Bill Tai, who is Partner Emeritus at Charles River Ventures. Bill was an early investor in Zoom, Canva, and Wish, and has 22 IPOs under his belt. Raphael Torgeman, an oncologist turned venture capitalist who invests in biotech and biopharma through a $200 million fund she founded called JTO Capital. Tim Draper, the founding partner of Draper Associates. He has backed companies like Tesla, Coinbase, Robinhood, SpaceX, and more. Philip Batteri, one of the top-ranked VCs in Europe. He's a partner at Excel and has invested in breakout startups like UiPath, BlaBlaCar, Doctolib, and DocuSign. Jerry Yang, the co-founder of Yahoo. He's the founding partner of AME Cloud Ventures, where he has invested in companies like Lyft, Didi, and Slack. At the end, we'll announce which startup will be named Extreme Tech Challenge's 2020 Global Winner. As you watch, please talk to us with the hashtag XTC2020. Which is your favorite startup? Please let us know. Finally, to learn more about all the finalists and to connect with them, visit the link below. They want to hear from anyone that can help make their vision become reality. Now, without further delay, let's get started with our first category. Enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Beth Bechtel, the Deputy Director General for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. If we are to have a world free from hunger and malnutrition, food and agriculture innovation must deliver new, sustainable, and accessible tools and systems for all farmers. We need creative minds, entrepreneurs, and startups to take up this challenge with us. It has been a pleasure to be an XTC judge to help find and foster these solutions. One of the 11 companies we judged stood out with an impressive team bringing scientific and business expertise and a growing number of successful collaborations. More importantly, their microbiome technologies increase soil health, crop quality and yields, and break down toxic pollutants in contaminated soil. I am happy to announce that the winner of AgTech Food and Water for XTC 2020 is Microgen Biotech. Congratulations, and now enjoy their pitch.
Sit at the dinner table with my family. I look at the rice, potatoes, and the vegetables. They just contain too much toxic heavy metals like arsenic. It hurts me knowing that the health of each one of us is damaged by every meal we are taking every day. And I and Microgen will solve this problem for my families and yours. This is a global massive problem that is unsolved. For example, in California, leafy greens contains over 10 times unsafe level of heavy metal. Policies and regulations are set up now to tackle this problem. In Microgen, we developed a biological product to reduce heavy metal in crop and increase crop yield. It's applied by seed coating and spray. And this has been done by my founding team, which will have over 30 years research experiences. And I have a PhD in bioremediation and I was trained in Harvard for executive leadership. And back in 2013, I quit my job in Pfizer and set up Microgen in Ireland. I put 200,000 euros in the company to develop the platform technology. And in 2017, it was a great year for Microgen because we have 2 patents granted, full operation set up in China, and we won the prestigious Forbes Tribe Award. We have 2 products registered last year and raised $3.88 million. So first, let me tell you our very successful story in China. In the past 3 years, we have conducted 200 trials with over 50% reduction of heavy metal. And early this year, we launched our product, and with only 3 months, we had sales of $2.5 million. We also have a full production capacities in China. Our solutions also endorsed many times by China Minister of Agriculture as the only proven solution. And this is because currently treating the problem with the chemicals, it does not work. It costs over 3,000 euros per acre. Our solution worked, 20 euros per acre, and this is revolutionary, allowing solving this global massive problem economically. With the industry leaders in our company like Bill Buckner, he was a former CEO of Bayer Crop Science. He helped us to secure our first commercial contract for the USA market for low arsenic rice. The global market size is massive. It is $118 billion. And Microgen is riding on the wave, and we project that in year 3, our revenue will reach $60 million with $29 million profit. In the next 12 months, we plan to raise $20 million, which will be mainly used for product development and ramping our customers globally. So Microgen, safer food worldwide.
Shumei, we're going to go to Bill with the first question.
Yeah, I want to understand your revenue model a little bit more. So you do trials and you get paid for those, and then you also charge a royalty. What kind of percent is that, and how much of your revenue going forward could you consider to be sort of recurring revenue?
Okay, lovely question. So we have actually two business models. In China, it's direct sale. And for the last 3 years, with the 200 trials, they are paid trials. So basically, each of the trials, they will pay us between $5,000 to €10,000. And globally, just give you an example, just now we see it's a royalty and licensing.
I missed something fundamental, which is what's the product? Are you playing with the seeds, or are you dusting the crops, or are you getting it when it's going into the end user? What do you actually do?
This is a great question too. We develop like biological product we call microbes. So now it's a microbiome areas. So it's a consortium of microbes, and then we produce them fermented. They actually coat the seeds. Just use the microbe mixed with seeds, and then they dry and plant it. And then at the end of the season, they get 30, 50, or 60% reduction of heavy metal.
You have a physical product then that you can ship and keep track of what payments are owed by the gallon. It's a solution you're selling in those blue jugs I saw in the picture?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Just one more question about the product itself, and so it's what, bacteria, and I wanted to understand, is there any consequence on the microbiome of the people?
Yes, first question, it is bacteria. It's all, and also to start the field, it's all from natural bacteria that is come from the field, come from the rice. So they are natural bacteria that kind of we're selecting from billions of them using bioinformatics and trying to mine on it. Okay.
Thank you, Raphael, with the question. And thank you, Shumei, for joining us.
Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Lars Reger and I'm the CTO of NXP Semiconductors, one of the big European semiconductor manufacturers. Innovation is very, very close to our heart as we are one of the leaders for secure, smart connected systems, both very AI heavy and IoT driven. I'm super proud to announce today the winner of the XTC Enablement category. And this winner is Hala Systems, an impressive company who is providing AI-based hazard warning systems. Hala, big congratulations from my side. All the best for the future. And now everyone, please enjoy watching the pitch from Hala.
I'm John Yeager, CEO and co-founder of Hala Systems. I founded Hala after working for the US State Department on conflict mitigation for two primary reasons. One very specific and the other a bit more general. Specifically, I needed to do more to prevent the indiscriminate loss of civilian life due to airstrikes in Syria. More generally, as a diplomat on the buy side of government spending, I was pretty consistently frustrated by the lack of technical capability that I found when working with traditional government contracting firms. To the first reason, I suspected that I could use a combination of novel and long-proven technologies to predict the path of attacking aircraft and give advance notice to civilians before the aircraft arrived so that those civilians could receive advance notice and take self-protective measures, increasing their chances for survival in a war zone. More than that, though, I also believe that by giving civilians something they could rely upon, it would significantly reduce the non-physical trauma that can leave scars that last just as long. But we didn't stop there, though, because the challenge is greater than Syria. More than a quarter of all the people on this planet live in countries whose development outcomes are profoundly affected by violence. Conflict and its secondary effects are massively expensive in every calculable way. Our technology has been used to meet a range of challenges already, from tracking and forewarning threats to civilians in Syria, to monitoring negotiated ceasefires for potential violations in another part of the world, to more clearly understanding an opaque Chinese economic policy using only AI-driven analysis of government statements. Our tech is focused on sourcing critically important and verifiable data from difficult environments, preserving it, analyzing it, and making it actionable in fast time. Our stack includes hardware, mobile apps, machine learning, and blockchain, but what sets us apart is less about the what and more about the how, where, and why we use that technology. And it was on the very first slide. Hala deploys technology solutions to prevent human harm in areas of conflict and danger. But we didn't stop there, because the challenge is greater than conflict. And frankly, so is the market. But back to that challenge that started it all for us in Syria. We set out to save lives, prevent injuries, and reduce trauma in the most difficult place on earth. And we succeeded. To date, Hala's warnings in Syria have helped significantly reduce casualties, contributing to 20 to 30% fewer deaths in places where our system was active. We were also able to significantly reduce trauma throughout civilian communities, the same communities that will be integral to rebuilding that nation when the fighting stops. And we did all of this for a cost on par with radically efficient public health initiatives like anti-malaria mosquito nets. But we didn't stop there, because the challenge is great, and Hala intends to meet it. Thank you very much.
Going to the judges with the questions.
John, this is a beginner's remedial question, but how do you know the numbers to compare with, sort of the control, if you will, if they didn't deploy your solution?
It's difficult from a mathematical perspective to get really great statistics out of a war zone. However, the way we're able to get reasonable data out of a place like Syria is that we've been there for 4 years now. And so we actually have before and after metrics of survivability, lethality, injuries, even trauma, and baselines from before we deployed and after we deployed.
Just a question around your deployment and business model around that. So do you see that being able to deploy in other markets, or is this really a war-torn area like Syria type of solutions?
Sure, great question, thank you. So in the pursuit of solutions that work in places that are incredibly austere, our plan was to create intellectual property and solutions that could be deployed in other markets. So we do believe there is scale beyond working in austere environments, but if it can work in the hardest places on earth, we think we can make it work pretty well in easier places.
Where do you see this company going long term? Sounds like there are a lot of potential applications for early warnings of everything.
Thank you. Yeah, we obviously didn't start a company just to prevent harm to civilians in one specific war zone. Expanding further from there, though, you get into other kinds of threats, not just violent threats or man-made violent threats, but also the threat of natural disaster, the sensing and mitigation of wildfire risk, and most recently, public health situations.
I was wondering, with the COVID crisis, is there then any application? What could you capture here as a market? And practically speaking, what could it be?
Obviously, when the pandemic sort of reared its head, our thoughts initially and quickly went to places where they didn't have any public health infrastructure or a severely devastated one. So we've actually got some pilot projects that we're running right now on COVID-19 mitigation, specifically in places of conflict where there is no infrastructure, essentially using some of the same sensing capabilities through human sensing to do prediction of hotspots just a little bit before they really take hold, so that meager sort of medical resources and efforts can be redeployed to specific areas where they can do the most good.
Okay, thank you so much, John. Thank you, judges, for questions. Thank you so much for joining us, John, today. Great job.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Victoria Slivkoff, Global Head of Innovation and Entrepreneurship for the University of California System. As the largest public research university system in the U.S., we're committed to nurturing great ideas and investing in bold solutions to today's biggest challenges. We have a vibrant and diverse entrepreneurial culture, one that empowers innovators and entrepreneurs to launch products and services that can impact the lives of many. That's why UC is a proud partner of XTC, because we also believe in growing a global ecosystem for solving the world's biggest challenges through innovation and partnerships. So many startups applied to this year's competition, demonstrating brilliant ideas to help people around the world learn. One in particular could unleash the potential of remote learning and to improve dynamic instruction everywhere. I'm happy to announce that the winner of education for XTC 2020 is Tomi. Congratulations, and now please enjoy their pitch.
Thank you. I'm Juan. I'm co-founder of Tommy. Tommy is a platform and a device that helps K-12 teachers in emerging countries to create awesome classes. This is a developed country classroom, and this is the average classroom in the 80% of the planet. So the gap is evident. Not having internet access inside the classrooms to access didactic content is one of the lacks of teachers in emerging countries. So Tommy is an online subscription for offline classroom. This works like Kahoot or Quizlet with more than 40,000 games already created by teachers in the last 5 months. Easy to use templates to create new ones, and detailed report with an AI-based advising system to teachers. All this even without internet inside the classrooms. We enable the real-time interaction with Tommy Digital without any internet connection using an embedded version of the platform inside our device, Tommy 7. When teacher takes Tommy device inside the classroom, Tommy creates a Wi-Fi network, simulates internet, and allows the interaction from the device of the students with all the previously synchronized content into it. Additionally, Tommy has some features that enhance the content deployment, like becoming any video projection into a touch-sensitive smartboard, grading exams in paper exams, actually, using artificial vision, and learning from didactic strategy the best teachers used. We have 2 types of devices, and both of them are for free to annual subscribers. So there is a $20 billion market for didactic printed books in emerging countries that will become digital and will grow as it did in developed countries already, and we can lead it before any other can. Our competitors, like Kahoot, for example, are not growing in emerging countries, while we are growing organically and bootstrapped, as in users, as in revenue, with $2.7 million in revenue until today, and 169% monthly usage growth. We are raising $2 million in our seed round from strategic investors. We already have 2 important investors who believe in us. One of them is Andrew Sutherland, Quizlet founder. So there was a teacher who changed my co-founder's lives when we was growing up in a poor neighborhood here in Colombia. And that was why we are working for teachers. We already created a successful startup in EdTech with more than $30 million in revenue in the first 5 years, only in Colombia, with the same team we are working today in Tommy. So we are ready to do it bigger and better with Tommy.
Thank you very much, Juan. Let's go to judges with questions.
Where do the classes come from? Do you guys create every single course, or is there?
That's the better part. We're planning to disrupt the publisher industry because this content is being generated by the community of teachers. However, we have an AI algorithm learning from the success and failures of the contents inside the classroom and suggesting new integration of contents to the teachers, so the contents improves by themselves constantly. So we don't produce any kind of contents. The content is being produced by teachers and improved by our algorithm.
Juan, how has the pandemic, and if it continues to last, how does that affect your business?
Good question. The online user is growing faster because of the pandemic. So in some regions, the telcos, the telecommunication companies are giving internet access to some schools, to some homes. But in other cases, it's the usage of the devices without technology is almost zero. So we really expect that the people come back to the schools to take advantage of the device. By now, we are competing with the other platforms similar to us in the online market.
The acquisition of these little hardware units, who pays for those? Can that be done by schools or donations, or what are the variety of ways that you can get these things sold into the classroom? And is there a marketplace for the content that's created by the teachers?
So the acquisition of the device start being done by schools as well, and governments and foundations. However, in the last 12 months, $350,000 were paid directly by the teacher's pocket.
And that was primarily in what geography?
Latin American countries, mainly the 10 Latin American countries.
And,
yeah.
And how much is that device again? Because it must be very expensive for those teachers that want to do that, and for them to do it's remarkable.
It's $590.
Wow, and they're paying for them themselves. That's remarkable. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you to the judges for questions. Thank you, Juan, for being with us today. Enjoyed that.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Ho-Ying So. I'm the acting global head for the Disruptive Technologies and Venture Capital team here at IFC. We're very excited to be partnering with XTC in supporting and showcasing innovators who are harnessing the power of technology to solve some of the world's greatest development challenges. Already, global markets for climate-smart businesses and technologies have grown to $1 trillion annually. The case for supporting clean tech innovation and investments, especially in this moment of the world, is a strategic priority for IFC and for the World Bank Group. I'm happy to announce that the winner of the Clean Tech and Energy category for XTC Challenge 2020 is Genesis. Their innovation converts food waste into biodegradable plastics and other high-value materials. Innovation like this showcase how entrepreneurship can grow both businesses and a sustainable future. Innovation equals impact. Congratulations to the Genesis team, and now please enjoy the pitch.
Hi, I'm Luna from Genesis Bio. We make compostable plastics from food waste. Last year, over $50 billion of premium plastics were disposed, causing massive global pollution. Luckily, there is a solution. In fact, it's been here for the past 2 decades. It's a biodegradable polymer called PHAs, or polyhydroxyalkanoids. With high performance, it's typically used in the premium sectors, like food packaging, medical applications, and 3D printing filaments. However, it does have one major drawback. It's just too expensive. Today, PHAs cost 4 times more than regular petroleum plastics, and it's made by using massive amounts of expensive sugar feedstocks, like sugarcane or corn. At Genesis, we have developed a novel technology that makes the same PHAs, but using food waste instead, cutting production costs by over 40%. Now, on the other hand, compared to the best current technology for processing food waste, biogas plants, we can help them make 10 times higher revenue output by producing PHAs as opposed to biogas. Our technology works through a simple 2-stage fermentation process with our own bacteria. In the future, we can further extend our platform towards creating products of even higher value. Now, we make money by both customizing our PHAs for end plastic buyers and by licensing our technology to biogas plants as an add-on unit to manufacture PHAs. In recent months, we've seen a huge growth in traction. We secured multiple partnerships with Fortune 500 companies through product development, purchase orders, and LOIs. Since the very beginning, we were always focused on de-risking our technology at every scale. In 2017, when we couldn't afford expensive bioreactors, we built them ourselves out of rice cookers. We now have a 4,000 square foot pilot facility and have completed industrial scale validation with the National Research Council of Canada. We also secured over $5.5 million, including from notable investors like Y Combinator. And after 12 months of rigorous technical due diligence, we became one of the youngest teams in Canada to receive a $2 million government grant. Our secret sauce, an award-winning team. Our COO and I have both built and operated profitable companies, and our CFO co-founded a $300 million bioplastic company. Our directors have decades of experience in scaling technologies, and our team won multiple awards, including first place in the Quebec engineering competition. And this is Genesis Bio. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luna. Let's go to Bill with the first question.
What does the capital intensity look like of the manufacturing, the plant that a customer or you have to build to process whatever the unit economics might be for that plant?
Because we can become an add-on unit to an existing biogas plant, we don't have to build a plant from scratch, right? And the CapEx of that is essentially roughly a quarter the CapEx of any existing biogas plant. CapEx normally would be roughly $100 million. For us, it would be roughly $25 million to be an add-on unit.
Luna, to give me an idea of the impact, if all the food waste today was used to build this compostable plastic, what percent of the overall plastic waste in a given year would you help reduce?
So there's over 1.3 trillion pounds of food waste that's produced on a yearly basis. That translates into roughly, with our current conversion rate, into roughly $400 billion worth of bioplastics. So it would be equivalent of that in terms of the petroleum plastic industry. Though that being said, our initial target market is the premium sectors. We want to start off high, making sure that our PHAs, because of its high-performing functionality, can be used to charge a higher price point.
Have you actually shipped some plastic to people?
So these are some of the prototypes that we made for the customers that we worked with. And for 2 of them, we have already given it to them so that they can do internal testing, which is Sodexo and Novo Nordisk. They actually found our plastic thin film was 3 times better in terms of its barrier properties compared to the existing plastics that they use today.
So what kind of IP do you have that are unique to protect you from competition?
Currently, we really have 2 types of IP. One is trade secrets. That's our current mixed culture bacteria that we really draw the DNA sequences from. And the second is the patents on both our process as well as our engineered PHA bacteria species.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Luna. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Great. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the pitches so far. My name is Rajiv Rajan. I'm the Chief of Staff and Head of Marketing and Communications for the Samsung Strategy and Innovation Center. I was the former Acting Managing Director of the XTC, and I'm now on the management team overseeing partner relations. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize the folks who have made all this possible, the XTC partners. The Extreme Tech Challenge is all about community, which was made possible by the companies, organizations, and their leaders who came together as the backbone for the XTC organization. Their support gave XTC the global presence, the collaborative reach, diversity, leadership insights, marketing strength, bootcamp speakers, and most of all, it opened the doors and multiplied the investment potential in the startups. On behalf of the XTC team, the startups, and the community, thank you, partners.
Hi, my name is Ramneet Gupta, and I'm the co-founder and co-lead of the venture investing effort at Citigroup. Fintech, as you'd imagine, has been a key focus for us for over a decade now, and I'm excited to see continued growth of innovation in this space. I remain more bullish than ever due to the arrival of what I call the AWS moment of Fintech, wherein the key building blocks necessary to bring new financial innovations to life, namely data, regulatory, compliance, and capital, have been abstracted away and made available as on-demand SaaS services. This has dramatically lowered the cost and time to market of bringing these innovations into the real world, and I think their impact is going to be even more powerful in the emerging markets. I'm super energized by all the startups that have applied to the XTC this year, and especially excited about the one that boosts economic growth and financial independence in developing countries. They serve the unique needs of migrants wherever they are through a banking system that's available to all. So without further ado, I would like to announce the winner of XTC's 2020 FinTech category is Rewire. Congratulations to the Rewire team, and now here is their idea.
Hi everyone, my name is Guy Kashtan and I'm Rewire's co-founder and CEO. Let me tell you about the first neobank for migrant workers and how one app can make a huge difference. Meet Karen. Karen left her family in the Philippines and migrated to Germany in order to work, save money, and build a better and more financially secure future for her and her family. Migrating is of course difficult, and other than the obvious cultural integration challenges, Karen has unique financial requirements that forces her to use between 3 and 4 different financial institutions for her daily needs. Karen manages her financial life in both Europe and the Philippines, including paying bills, insurances, home loans, accounts in both countries, and of course sending money back home to her family. Like Karen, there are 270 million migrants whose financial services are estimated at about $1 trillion per year. And this is where Rewire steps in with a digital neobank tailored specifically for migrant workers. Rewire was founded to change the lives of millions of families with a single app. We are creating unique financial services for migrants that they actually need, services that are innovative and accessible, such as international money transfer, remote bill payments, credit and saving solutions. By educating them for smart financial management and by including migrants in the financial systems, we are helping migrant workers take a huge leap toward a more financially secured future. And without a doubt, the biggest advantage of Rewire customers is that we see migrants as VIP customers. Everything we do is for them. We develop innovative financial solutions in their home countries. We don't only translate, but we localize our communication and messaging. We promote financial savings and education. And most importantly, we advocate for equality and renounce any type of prejudice in our services. And our customers love us. Following our outstanding performance in the Israeli market, Rewire has recently launched its services in Europe, and business is booming. With over 150,000 customers and more than $500 million processed annually. I know that everyone says this about their team, but we really do have the best team on earth. Rewire is led by top talent who come from Fortune 500 companies and leading financial organizations. Moreover, Rewire is backed by top strategic partners and investors from the fintech industry. As a company, one of our strongest values is diversity. A quick look into the people who make Rewire what it is will show you that migrants are not only our customers, they are also a part of our company. We understand the needs of migrants because we create work for migrants, because we are migrants. To conclude, we are not only building a digital banking platform for migrant workers, but also by enabling equal opportunities, financial education, and accessible services, we are creating the good we wish to see in the world. We do it for Karen and the 270 million people who are just like her. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Guy. Who would like to lead us off with questions? Bill?
Thanks, Barrett. Guy, I'm curious, obviously fantastic growth. Why are you growing so fast? And are you growing faster than similar competitors in the market or not? And if you are, why are you growing faster?
Most of our customers are coming through organic channels, which means either they're searching for us directly online or they get to one of our online pages, or more importantly, they were referred by their family member or friends.
So is your business model all tied to the way a bank's business model is? Are you going to move them into crypto? Are you taking commissions? Are you taking a monthly service? Where are you headed with this?
From the early days of Rewire 5 years ago, our business model is the international services we provide. Whether it is money transfer, soon savings and pension payments, etc. We charge on those, but we give customers all of the banking for free. So basically, migrant workers can use our banking platform for free, no fees at all, except when they use the international services we provide that are tailored specifically for them. Only on those we would charge customers who actually use them.
And last question from Young, please.
Yeah, so question is just your business model. What is your customer acquisition cost as of today, and what's your break-even point?
So first of all, our customer acquisition cost is between $50 and $60 per customer. This is for a paying customer, and with the certain conversion rate that we have right now, where the lifetime value of a customer in Europe today for us is $400. So it allows us for a ratio over 5, actually a 7 in the ratio is a ratio from the lifetime value compared to CAP when you calculate over 3 years. So it is very effective in terms of that ratio, where in terms of margins, they keep growing the more mature the business is, especially with economy of scale of what we're doing today. In Israel, we have margins of over 50% on our activity. In Europe, the pricing is a bit more competitive than that. But the more services you use with us, the less we can charge you less, basically.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much, Guy. Thank you, judges, for the questions. Thank you, Guy. That was awesome. We enjoyed it. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good job.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jerry Elliott, and I'm the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Cisco. We've seen firsthand that digital transformation creates jobs, drives GDP, and makes our communities safer, healthier, and more productive. Our winning project did just that, using AI to address the fact that 1.6 billion tons of food is wasted every single year. Solving this challenge could have a massive impact from a societal, economic, and environmental perspective. With a great idea, a great team, and a great pitch, I'm thrilled to announce that Spark Global is the winner of this year's Transportation and Smart City category. Congratulations to the Spark Global team. Let's take a look at their pitch.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm the founder of Spark Global. Our mission is to turn food waste into a global business. I'm a passionate entrepreneur with a background in engineering. I earned my MBA from Wharton and founded a number of tech companies until I was misdiagnosed with cancer. But don't worry, I'm fit and happy. But I asked myself, how can I apply my skills to something meaningful? I became intrigued by the massive food waste problem. I simply could not believe 1.6 billion tons of perfect food is wasted every year, mostly in the supply chain, before it reaches your dinner table. I was also surprised to learn that food waste is one of the largest CO2 emitters, 4 times bigger than global air traffic. This dilemma ripples through the food industry. Suppliers like producers or retailers have to pay to dispose of their food oversupply, which eats into their margins. At the same time, consumers like NGOs struggle to afford market prices for food. Now, if we allow ourselves to think about this massive problem as a potential market, it seems like a blue ocean opportunity. Food oversupply could translate into a 500 billion euro market, a significant value creation opportunity. Our solution is an AI-driven distribution approach to eliminate food waste in the supply chain. Think Amazon of food oversupply. Our platform uses machine learning and artificial intelligence to rapidly match food oversupply with demand to move from waste to rescue to avoid. This can only be achieved by understanding data of physical goods, real-time matching of supply and demand, and predictive analytics that anticipate where and when there will be food oversupply. We have a strong and experienced management team, experts in logistics, services, edtech, food, marketing, and community. And our advisory board includes Garrett Clark from the UN, who helps us implement the SDGs, along with Christian and Mark, technology, data, and automation experts who make sure we're building the technology that really does the trick. The competitive landscape is fragmented. For example, Germany's largest operator captures just 2% of the overall market. Unlike other market players, Spark addresses food oversupply across all segments. Our business model translates food oversupply into revenue at a range of 1 to 10 euros per kilogram. Now, if we multiply that range with volume, we achieve both impact and financial returns. In year 5, we expect to distribute 35,000 tons of food and generate 50 million euros in revenue. We've bootstrapped the company for the last 2.5 years and established a proof of concept here in Berlin. We're now completing our seed funding, after which we'll focus on revenue generation, partner onboarding, platform development, and expansion into other German cities. Longer term, we'll also move into other regions and later leverage our platform via other verticals such as electronics. We would like to invite you to join the Spark Alliance as we bridge the gap between business and impact to bring a powerful and systemic change to the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Well done. First question, Bill.
Yeah, Alex, a wonderful mission. As you scale, I'm curious if this model has sort of accretive scalability or lack of accretive scalability. You know, as you get bigger, does it get economically more efficient or less efficient when you handle a lot of stuff, cover bigger geographies, and have to deal with products that typically have a short half-life?
Yeah, so that's the job of the technology, to onboard these players, especially suppliers, to integrate with their systems, to get the data, to see what's happening, to understand the use cases, to be predictive. Basically, that technology will evolve over time and connect the dots basically in a more automated fashion later on, while making sure we can also partner and power with NGOs to run their business on our platform.
Just my understanding is that one of the problem of waste is because of fresh products reaching their DLC, right? What happens is that supermarkets are keeping them until they can sell them, and then when they cannot sell them, it's because they're not fresh anymore. So there may be a surplus, but you can't sell it. So how you solving that problem, and how much of your marketplace can really solve of the entire addressable food waste?
To answer your question, the most important thing, that's our priority number one, besides technology, is to assure quality of food. And don't forget, the food we pick up is not bad. It's perfect food. It's just overstock, it's oversupply. Yeah, and that's a systematic problem in the supply chain because no one wants to lose revenue. Food is perishable. Yeah, so to measure temperature, to adhere to the cold chain, for example, these are very important pieces that we monitor in our approach.
That makes sense.
Alex, how do you manage that freshness in your platform?
We need to build relationships with these suppliers. Yeah, if they're retailers or wholesalers or producers or anybody in the supply chain, keep in mind food waste is a sensitive topic. So no one really wants to talk about it. While we cater to the quality, but making sure we adhere to the set of rules of suppliers, that is to really crack that problem. Trust with the suppliers while building demand partners on the demand side and monetize our business, connecting the dots and becoming more intelligent over time.
Thank you very much, Alex. It's been our pleasure to have you.
Thanks for your interest and your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Atul Butte, and I'm the Chief Data Scientist for the University of California Health System. I'm also a pediatrician and professor at the University of California, San Francisco. And I've been an entrepreneur for more than 25 years. The University of California has been a founding partner of XTC, and the university, along with its incubators and startup programs, nominated startups into the XTC program and competition. I'm really proud to be able to be in front of you all to make this health award presentation. Now, more than ever, the importance of health could not be more clear for the entire world's population. It could not be more clear how much of the rest of the world's education, commerce, transport, exchange, communication, prosperity, and livelihoods all depend on health. For XTC, the health category is meant to identify a startup whose innovation could improve the way we diagnose or treat our health and the health communities around the world. One startup in particular stood out for their aspirations to empower women and to use renewable resources. That startup also has women founders and women in their current leadership. Out of 445 submitted health and wellness applications, 72 startups that made the second cut, 21 startups that made the third cut, out of 9 finalists that went to boot camp and made it to final judging, I'm pleased to announce that the winner of the health category for the XTC 2020 is Sati. Congratulations, and now please enjoy their pitch.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen, one of the co-founders of Sati, and we make 100% biodegradable and compostable sanitary pads that are good for your body, the community, and environment. I've always been passionate about sustainability, and in college I had the opportunity to come to India to work on a sustainable crayon project. Since sustainability is the way of the future, I was really excited about the opportunity to work on new solutions. Fast forward to 2015, when I came back to India to meet my co-founder Tarun, and we decided to focus on solving the issue of access to sanitary pads because it's in a sustainable way, because Tarun's also passionate about empowering women and is also interested in removing the taboo around menstrual hygiene in India. At Sati, addressing 3 issues. The first is that Komal used conventional pads, and for years she had been suffering from rashes and UTIs. Lalita Devi suffered from reproductive tract infections because lack of access to pads is faced by up to 82% of women in India. And finally, our land and our ocean are suffering because conventional pads are up to 90% plastic and will take 600 to 700 years to degrade. We are addressing these issues in a holistic way, and we provide a rash and chemical-free experience that's accessible to all and doesn't harm the environment because it's 100% biodegradable. We address 8 of the UN SDGs, and as our business grows, our impact grows because the impacts are built into our supply chain. We look at our business model, starting with sourcing. Banana and bamboo fiber comes from the farmers, so we're able to increase income for those farmers. We have an all-women staff in our manufacturing unit. We sell pads to both urban and rural women, which provides health benefits to both. And finally, we're reducing plastic waste and CO2 emissions because the pads can be upcycled into compost, biogas, and electricity. If we look at our competitive landscape, there are 3 categories: conventional pads, alternative pads, and affordable pads, which are typically subsidized by the government. We've combined the best elements of these 3 categories into our product at a reasonable price. This is our traction. We are currently distributing our product on major channels, including our own website, Amazon, Flipkart, Smitten, and others, and we aim to be profitable by 2022. We've been really fortunate to get a lot of really great media coverage due to the innovative nature of the product. And our current team size is 13 staff and 25 ladies in our manufacturing unit. We're currently raising 2.6 million USD in debt and 2.4 million USD in equity in order to scale up production capacity and meet the demand, as well as launch globally. These are just some of the women that we've worked with to date, and we aim to make that millions more in the next couple of years. We hope you'll join us.
Thank you very much, Kristen. Great presentation. Now let's move to judges' questions. Who would like to lead us off with the first question?
So I've seen about 5 of these using various things, banana leaves, and why are you better than they are? And can you get your costs down? Cost is a big part of this.
So we have the technology to convert different fibers. So we have a patent pending on that. And then in terms of the cost, Tarun, maybe you can speak a little bit to that.
In terms of the cost, we can just bring down it below the commercial products. Right now, the scale is the roadblock for us. With the new investment, which we are talking about with this production capacity, we can compete at selling that the same price point that commercials are.
Raphael, with the next question, please.
I was wondering, as you have positive effect on the environment on one hand, but also on health because of this rash, allergic rash. I was wondering, even it's not your target with India, but could you apply your technology also to tampon?
We actually are looking at a number of other absorbent products that are more similar to pads, which would go to different age ranges. And those would probably be the most likely next product for us.
What are your scaling challenges?
For scaling, basically, we're looking at increasing our production, so raising funds to scale our production capacity. We have a lot of demand, both in India and globally, so we're looking at trying to serve that demand with more automatic machinery.
When you look at the competitive landscape, what makes you totally different, and what's your very special advantage when you look at each of the main competitors there? And also, how big do you think this company can get?
We are more sustainable because if you use organic cotton, it's not a recurring material, like you have to keep growing it and it's a one-time use kind of thing, where we're using these agri-waste materials, which means we have a very constant source of them. Consumers are looking for more sustainable products, and I think it's going to eat into their market share over time, just in terms of the consumer's desire to have a more eco-friendly product.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kristen and Tarun. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good job.
You may ask, what would it take to beat COVID-19 and get life back to normal?
Research? Medication? Education? Yes. All of it.
Because this virus has upended so much.
Our hospitals, our classroom, our homes.
Every day, frontline workers, essential employees
are showing up to fight back. But beating COVID-19 is one job no one can do on their own.
It's about more than one occupation.
One country.
It takes all of us.
Because it's affecting all of us.
We need teamwork.
And we need innovation.
This year, XTC presents the COVID-19 Innovation Award
to one startup whose innovation could make a difference.
And we're proud to announce that the winner is Taito Care.
For enabling comprehensive telehealth visits
anytime, anywhere.
Thank you to the team at Taito Care for your innovation.
And thanks to everyone in the world who's making a difference.
From nurses,
doctors,
teachers,
scientists, delivery drivers,
public servants,
and so many more.
Together.
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 Together. We are stronger.
Here's to your health.
The health of your loved ones.
And the innovation that could make a difference.
So here's the pitch.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. Taito started about 7 years ago with a clear mission to take the primary care interaction as a whole and make it fully on demand and from home. We seamlessly connect patient to clinician to make this interaction much more clinically oriented and much better. Telehealth, as you all know it, is a very fast-growing industry, a lot of tailwind support by government and by insurers, but the main issue is still around utilization. Now with COVID, everything is off the charts, but we expect that to go down, not to the same level, but still way below the potential. The reason is around the value of those visits. When you are doing most of them by phone or by video, you cannot really replicate a face-to-face interaction if it does not drive enough traffic and enough trust. The second part is that you are usually talking to an anonymous clinician, which doesn't bring you the whole value of continuity of care and so forth. Tyto brings for the first time a holistic approach with a home kit that can be done, can be run and can be examined by any lay user. Imaging of the throat, the ear, the skin, auscultation of the heart, the lung, the stomach, and some basic vital signs like heart rate and temperature reading, all in a modular way, all in a very smart way with a lot of algorithm to really make this easy. On the platform side, we are running on AWS, connecting the patient to the clinician either synchronously or asynchronously, and closing the loop with a back-end interface to the EMR, so we give the clinician also the best way to practice primary care remotely. In terms of the data, Tyto collects first-of-a-kind clinical data. This information does not exist in the industry. You cannot buy it from a hospital. Those images, sounds, videos are collected in the system as medical exam, but also the medical condition, the symptoms, the diagnosis that goes back from the EHR, all is in our hands. So this is an example of tonsillitis condition monitoring that we start with a pre-exam with a symptom checker, a smart one that drives you to a specific exam to run. We analyze, we guide you through the exam and analyze, detect elements that are interesting for the clinicians for diagnose, and then we can show swollen tonsils and redness of the throat and other things, and give you some statistics about the potential for streps and so forth. In terms of the business model, we are doing B2B and B2B2C through health system and payers, and selling a subscription and device revenue to four different use cases or target customers, mostly consumers at home, either chronic or under risk, or general consumers, as well as school-based telehealth, senior care, and remote clinics. This is some of our top customers. We are now 3 years commercializing with over 100 health organizations using Tyto. Some of the big names are United, Anthem. In terms of numbers, in 2019, we had more than 5,000 clinicians on the system, 150,000 patients, and 350,000 exams. Very high NPS scores, and very, very importantly, is the utilization. We're doing 10 to 20 times better than the standard telehealth. We treated about 50,000 patients by doing monitoring and remote care with some of those health systems in use cases like quarantine sites and remote monitoring. To summarize, Tyto is 8 employees. We raised $105 million to date by Insight, Orbimed, Cambia, Qualcomm. And this is the great leadership team I'm working with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dedi. I'm going to go to Young with the first question.
Telehealth seems to be coming its own time given COVID-19. So first question is that did you see an uptick given the positive impact you could create with telehealth? And how accurate is your diagnostics when you do that?
Recently, starting in the middle of Q2, we tripled our manufacturing. We are doing it in Flextronics, and we are seeing, as I said, we are more than doubling than the plan for this year in terms of actual revenues and in terms of growth in the devices.
A question about the adoption and actually the role of the clinician. Is there an exam with questions? Because there is place for interpretation, I guess. So how in practical, and also it raises the question of adoption.
Like any other telehealth platform, like we're doing right now, and we are today deeply integrated into Epic, very soon to Cerner, to Teladoc, to American Well, so we can be alongside with the telehealth platform. So basically, it's an online session. So the clinician is calling the shot. They are talking to the patient. They are taking the measurement. They can control the device. They switch between the exam, and they just tell the user what to do. It's basically a remote hand and ears and eyes of the clinician at the patient home.
So I'm curious, what is the price of the hardware required for the diagnostic, and who is paying for it?
It really depends. So we are selling, as I said, to our main two customers are insurance companies and self-insured employers. The device at the retail will cost at maximum $299, but in most cases, the B2B partner, the health system or the health plan or the self-insured employer will subsidize portion of it to the consumers.
Thank you, Dedi. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been our pleasure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Tamara Steffens, the General Manager and Managing Director of M12, Microsoft's venture fund. With 20 years of experience in Silicon Valley, I've seen firsthand how difficult it can be to grow a successful startup. That challenge is made even more difficult for some just based on their identity. Early stage female founders pitching for capital receive on average $1 million less than their male counterparts. Fortunately, XTC is about identifying and empowering people with great ideas, especially when they have additional obstacles to overcome on the path to innovation. The Female Founder Award is given to the highest ranking finalist in the overall competition, which boasts a woman as one of their founders. This year, the award goes to Microgen Biotech and their founder, Shumei Germain. You saw Shumei's pitch earlier as the winner of the ag tech category. 2 billion children ingest unsafe levels of toxic heavy metals like arsenic through their diets. 3 billion global acres of soil are contaminated by these heavy metals. Microgen develops natural functional microbiomes to reduce heavy metals in crops and protect the health of all mankind while improving the health of soils. Through her innovation, Shumei is advancing better food safety and health around the world. On behalf of XTC and Microsoft, congratulations, Shumei.
I hope you enjoyed learning about these extraordinary startups that are dedicated to solving global challenges. Now you know all the winners of XTC 2020, except for one. Let me introduce Young-sun to announce the XTC 2020 global winner.
Thanks, Barrett. First, thank you to all the startups around the world who applied to XTC this year. It's been a great year with a phenomenal support from over 2,400 companies. Congratulations to all our finalists, and special congratulations to the category winners that we announced today. In Cleantech Energy, it was Genesis of Canada. In Fintech, it was Rewire of Israel. In education, Tony of Colombia. In health, Sahi of India. In enabling technologies, Hala Systems of Portugal. In transportation and smart cities, Spark Global of Berlin. In COVID-19 Innovation Award is Title Care of Israel. And for the agriculture, food, and water, as well as Female Founder Award, goes to Microgen Biosystems, founded by Shumei. The judges have deliberated. I'm happy to say we have chosen overall winner for XTC 2020. And to make the announcement, we have invited to our dear friend XTC. Let me introduce Maurice Levy, chairman of the and supervisory board for Publicis Group in France. He has been architect of helping us to build Tech for Good event with President Macron.
Thank you and bonjour everyone. I commend Samsung, Young-sun and all the partners for this great initiative. A year ago, I stood on the stage at Vivatech along with Young, Bill, Jerry, and others you saw today. We announced the start of XTC 2020. Since then, the world has changed, and instead of having the same stage, we are now on Zoom. But what has not changed is the importance of Tech for Good, the importance of aligning business, innovation, entrepreneurship, and impact to address the toughest global challenges. That's what XTC is all about. The judges choose a startup that demonstrated all of these values along with outstanding leadership and the promise of making significant impact in their domain. On behalf of XTC, I'm thrilled to announce the overall winner of the Extreme Tech Challenge 2020 global competition. And the winner is Genesis, founded by Luna Yu. Luna and team, would you please like to say a few words?
I'm not really one for words, but super appreciate everything that you guys have put in the last couple of months. Even though COVID hit, you guys were just really on the point with every single mentorship program, all the boot camps. It was just so much help that we got. So really appreciate it and really cannot be more happy. Thank you.
Overall, I think it's just great validation knowing that there's a lot of people who believe in what we're doing.
This is actually the excited reactions that we are sharing right now. I know that might not seem that way, but generally speaking, you know, we're a bunch of nerds that stay in the lab, so this is the best we could do at this time, so just forgive us for the it's a lack of reaction there. But this is definitely good news, and we're very happy about it. We've talked a lot about it internally too, so this is it's a big milestone for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Luna, and congratulations again to you and your team. And now it's time to look to the future. Next year, we will be back. And I hope I'll be on the global stage with all of you in Paris. Congratulations. And now I'm handing over it back to Yang.
Thanks, Maurice, and congratulations again, everyone. So in continuing the spirit of XTC, I'm very happy to announce today the launch of the Extreme Tech Challenge 2021 competition. I'm proud to start the next chapter of our ecosystem. I'll now hand over to Barrett to tell us more about XTC 2021 and say goodbye. Thank you.
Thanks, Young, and congratulations to Genesis and all the winning startups today. In 2021, with our partners, we will host regional and virtual competitions, as well as an online content series, making it easier than ever for startups from anywhere in the world to benefit from XTC's growing platform. If you're a founder of a startup that wants to do good for the world, you don't need to wait. You can apply now at extremetechchallenge.org and click apply. I hope to see you here next year, pitching in the global finals. Don't forget, you can find more information about all 52 XTC finalists at the link below. You can even connect with the teams and tell them how awesome they are. Think about how you might be able to help them and reach out. They'd love to hear from you. Before we go, I'd like to say a huge thanks to the XTC partners, judges, evaluation committee, volunteers, and all those in the XTC community that have made today possible and made this platform so valuable for startups. And thank you for joining us today from your home or your office to cheer these companies on. We hope you are inspired by their ideas and are motivated to go build something good for the world yourself. From all of us at XTC, thank you, be well, and here's to solving the world's most extreme problems through startups and innovation.